Today we're going to look at the Maxi-Cosi Lara2, a model for which we previously put out a mini review, but which we felt was worth looking at in more depth based on the interest we got with that initial video. So let's get started then, going over the model from top to bottom and examining its advantages and disadvantages in terms of child comfort, ease of use, performance and mechanics, before ending with a discussion of which uses and lifestyles it may suit, as well as how it matches up to the rest of the market with regards to price. And beginning with some stats, the Lara2 clocks in at 6.4 kilos and folds down to 50 by 51 by 26 centimeters. It can carry 22 kilos in the seat and 2 kilos in the underslung shopping basket. When it comes to child comfort, the Lara2 has both a decently upright position and a near flat recline, while size-wise, the seat measures 30 centimeters in width, has a length for the sitting surface of 80 centimeters, meaning the combined lengths of the backboard, baseboard, and adjustable leg rest, and a total longer length of 110 when also taking into account space beneath the canopy and the distance to the front frame mounted footrest. These dimensions aren't bad in relation to the wider market, being even on the higher end of average, though they're ruined to a large extent by the fact that the central buckle emerges from the baseboard a little too far back, making the harness uncomfortable for older toddlers. On top of this, headspace is reduced to the height of the backboard when the seat is reclined, which is admittedly the case with a lot of ultra compacts. The recline strap is a bit heavy on the fingers to get the seat fully upright. The shoulder straps must be rethreaded to shift their height. The bumper bar doesn't swivel 360 degrees and must be fully unlatched to open and close rather than the more common setup of just pressing a button. And there have been a few reports of the backboard being a bit too thin and bending against the weight of an older child or even breaking. As far as the canopy is concerned, it doesn't extend too far, though it does provide pretty good sun coverage in my opinion, especially considering that it sits a bit higher than average off the seat back. Moving on to parent comfort, the Lara2's handles stand at a fixed height of 103 centimeters, while the shopping basket, in addition to having quite low carrying capacity, even for an ultra compact, is difficult to access in my opinion due to sidewalls and the height of the rear lip. There is a smaller upper basket as well, useful for a bottle or your phone for example, and while functionally it doesn't really provide more carrying space than a pocket on the back of the seat would have, its frame does contribute to the overall structural stability of the chassis, which is a positive. Looking at folding, the main step in the folding process is one-handed and easy to accomplish, but in order to get the model to fold down as a compact package, it's necessary to first use two hands to flip up the bumper bar. On top of this, the Lara2 doesn't stand when folded, and the folded package is too large to fit within the IATA's guidelines for cabin luggage, though it does get almost there if you remove the wheels. When it comes to how the Lara2 feels to use, other than the handle being a bit loose at its hinged locking points, both halfway down the arms as well as at the central hubs, the chassis as a whole doesn't feel particularly weak or bendy as it comes right out of the box. That being said, however, the use of dual wheels in the front makes it a bit of a chore to steer, a situation that I'd note will only get worse as the model loosens up, and the somewhat too far forward positioned seat also makes the Lara2 a little heavy to tip up curbs when seating an older child. As far as terrain capability goes, despite having both front and rear suspension and acceptably sized wheels for an ultra compact, 5.3 inches in the front and 6 in the back, those dual wheels come into play again, making the model uncomfortable to handle over even stuff like uneven sidewalks by slowing down one's ability to steer around obstacles, as well as providing more surface area to get hung up on stuff. Alright, let's move on to the mechanics of the Lara2 then, beginning with the handle, folding system, and overall structure of the chassis, where the model has a two-stage fold, whereby the buttons in the center of the handle draw on a pair of wires that release a hinged point halfway down the handle arms, and then, after the handle has been rotated enough, a second pair of wires are pulled sufficiently to unlock the central folding hubs lower down and allow the stroller to fold together. This is a pretty complex setup, and though there are several models that use something similar currently, the fact that the folding buttons on the Lara2 are a bit loose and sometimes fiddly to activate right out of the box, combined with the fact that there have been reports from past users of the folding system failing, indicates to me that this is unfortunately one of the potential problem areas on the model, undoubtedly exacerbated by how much the Lara2 jitters with those dual wheels if pushed regularly over rough ground, which can eventually shake smaller elements out of alignment. As far as the rest of the chassis goes, below the level of the handle arms, the Lara2 has good cross support from the front and rear frames, as well as that upper basket upon which the seat is mounted, and also from a skeleton of thinner hinged bars in the undercarriage. The hinged front legs are also a place that I suspect will loosen over time, contributing to the stroller feeling more rickety, though this is not an area that will likely break outright. Moving down to the rear frame, the Lara2 has good, noticeable suspension, which is a bit of a shame since that choice of front wheels means you'll never get proper use out of it, and the brake system is rotation-based, which is a less complicated and more durable setup than wire-based systems in my experience. As far as the wheels go, they're decently built with regards to the rims, though they do sit a tad looser than I'd like, and the tires are also softer than average, meaning they're more susceptible to getting ugly from holes and pebbles, depending on where you drive. Looking lastly at the front frame, there's a bit of suspension built into the dual forks, and they also have decent swivel locks. The forks themselves sit tight within their housings, as the model comes out of the box anyway, though I suspect they'll loosen here. And the wheels as they sit on the horizontal axles are already loose, and will undoubtedly loosen further over time, as this is my experience with all dual-wheeled models, making steering progressively even more unpleasant. So, should you get the Lara2 then? In my opinion, no. Despite not being the weakest budget model out there, and having a very friendly price tag, the combination of a variety of not very user-friendly characteristics with regards to the seat and folding, weaknesses with the folding mechanisms, poor storage, and those annoying dual wheels make the model outclassed by several options, even within the Lara2's lower price range. In any case, we hope you found this video interesting, and if you did, please subscribe, as a sort of support really helps us to continue making videos in the future. In addition, if you're currently shopping for a stroller, we have a buyer's guide on our Patreon page which lists a wide range of models that we recommend, with a lot of technical and lifestyle related information. You can find it by following the link in the description. Thank you.